Well, is the market actually beep or is it something different? Guys, we're going to address it this morning. It's a big controversial topic. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Yes.
Billy.
It's the headline everyone wants to believe at the moment. It's the perfect excuse to a bad offer or to something not going your way in the negotiation. But we're here to sort of break the stigma this morning, report the good news.
Yeah. So, often people will tune into national news and read about the headlines of the real estate market on the national news, which reports news nationally. There's no news, as far as I'm aware, that comes up, flashes up on people's TV that says Northern Beaches news. We don't have that. It's national news that's reporting the national statistics on national auction clearance rates. And guys, we're not going to sugarcoat this. I had someone on my social media having a go at me the other day saying, Lisa, you never report that the market's bad. That is nonsense, absolute nonsense. And I challenged him to go back through, how many episodes have we done, Billy? How many is it?
He's looking for a particular post. He's got thousands to dig through.
Thousands. And I said, please enjoy thousands of episodes of our Morning Minutes where we have talked about often when it's been a buyer's market, which it certainly is. We're not going to sugarcoat this. But when the national news reports about national real estate, what is going on out in areas like Lakemba is not what's going on in areas like Narrowena. So on the Northern Beaches. There are definitely different markets happening here. And I know we've spoken about it before, Billy, about auction clearance rates. Stop using this, guys, as the metric as to what is going on the ground in real estate. Because guess what? Lots of people aren't auctioning at the moment. Why are we using that as a metric? What are we seeing?
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Billy? What's happening on the ground in real estate at the moment?
Look, there's just a lot of confusion. I can completely sympathize with buyers and sellers when they do go to the trusted news sources, and it's just the good old adage, what bleeds reads. So these punchy headlines you're seeing on the newspaper and the major portals, are there to sort of provoke you to read into the article a little bit more. But then when you dig into it, as you said, it's talking about national numbers or median prices, and those median prices are easily skewed. So we're trying to sort of bring it back down to what's happening on the ground for locals, because that's really what is most relevant to you. If you're buying and selling on the Northern Beaches, you want to know what's happening on the Northern Beaches. And so it's just trying to break a bit of a stigma, but it's a hard battle, I must admit, because you sort of you can win the battle on sort of educating the buyer on particular pieces, but then you lose the war because they go back home and read the news again.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And it's the same with the seller, right? And I think there's a big distinction between the market has softened and the market is crashing. That's the big distinction right now. And I find that I'm spending all my days trying to re-educate sellers in particular about what is actually going on, what we actually are witnessing in the market. And the truth is, guys, that even in a roaring hot market, if a vendor wants more than what the market's willing to pay, it doesn't matter what market you're in, there's still a gap there that needs to be filled between what the buyer's willing to pay on a property and what the vendor's looking for. Nothing's changed there. And so a property that is sitting on the market, in this apparently what is, a crap market. And listen, as I said, we're not sugarcoating it. The market's come off. At the moment, buyers have got a discount of around 10% on the Northern Beaches. That's the truth. Now, stock levels is interesting though, and I want to cover that with you in just a second, Billy, because they're sitting pretty consistently at the moment, and that paints a very different picture here. But, say, for instance, you've got your property and it's on the market at the moment, and let's call it a $2 million house. And all the other $2 million properties are coming on and they're transacting, which is what we're seeing. And we're seeing them transacting actually quite quickly. I've had quite a few sales of these entry-level houses over the last few weeks, but yours isn't. that doesn't mean it's a crap market. That means that you want more than what the market is willing to give. That is the bottom line. And it doesn't matter what market you are trying to sell in, guys. If you want more than what the market is willing to give, that means you're overpriced.
Yeah,
That's what the market's telling you.
When you're overpriced, you've got three different options because a lot of people think the agent's just there to, cut the ticket, clip the ticket, and be done with the sale. And it's far from the truth. Like the truth is, as the homeowner, you've got the choice to do, quite frankly, whatever you like. But the three options we tend to find people looking at are hold on to the property, wait for the market to come up. But that is a very long, open-ended answer as to how long is that going to take to meet your price. The second option, rent the property, or the third property, simply wait or withdraw. Hold on to it.
That's exactly right. And sometimes, we find that it's so close, it's within 5%. So, for instance, a vendor could be looking for $2 million, but all the offers are coming in that sort of low to mid $1.9 million region. And, that is literally where the market is telling you your property sits in comparison to other properties that they're viewing that are similar to yours. So, and you're quite right, Billy, like they're your options as a vendor. You can hold, you can meet the market where it's at, you can rent the property out, or you can withdraw your property from market and wait for the market to come up. But the big question is this, and I spoke with a great vendor yesterday who called me and said that the opening line was exactly that. The market is beep. I don't want to say the word because I don't want the post to get pulled down.
Yeah.
And I said, well, hang on, what are you actually wanting to sell for? And they said, well, look, Lisa, we need more room. We're looking to upgrade. And I said, you do realise this is the best time to be doing this. It's the best time, guys, to be selling, and you might sell for 10% less, but that jump for you to get into your next property to upgrade, you're getting a discount there as well. And that gap to get you from where you are now to where you want to go is the best time to be doing this, irrelevant of what National 9 News is reporting to you.
That's exactly
and the
right.
truth lies, the reality is that the truth lies in the sales that are actually taking place. And if the market was so bad, we would consistently be seeing week after week after week, 0 properties being sold on those real estate portals. We'd be seeing that. Now, out of all the transactions that we're doing as an office at the moment, in fact, agents right across the Northern Beaches, I look at those sold prices, and as an experienced real estate agent, I say to myself, that is exactly where I would have thought that property would have sold. Show me one property, Billy, where you're like, oh my God, that sold for an absolute bargain. Show me that property.
Yeah, it's look, it's that changeover is more important than the headline sale for a lot of people at the moment, and so it's about that bigger picture. But we definitely want to reiterate to the market, it's a really calm, balanced buying experience. It's probably the best market you could ask for as a buyer. I had a good chat with a buyer on Saturday saying, in an environment where you've got 6 or 7 people bidding against you, you naturally feel like you're making the right decision because it's supported with social proof. When you're on your own, when you can't see the other competition, but you're bidding to achieve the successful purchase of a property, you can second guess yourself. Am I making the right decision here?
Absolutely. And, and again, those properties that are transacting at the moment, those vendors are hearing where the market is at on their properties. Anytime I'm going in and I'm doing an appraisal for a vendor, I'm asking them, do you understand what is going on currently with the Northern Beaches market? Please let me explain it to you. It is not as bad as what the National News is reporting. Here is the factual information about what other properties like yours are selling for in this current market. And this is how long it's taking approximately to get similar properties like yours sold, just so we're working with factual information. And as I said, any property that is sitting on the shelf that is not transacting, it's your price. And that is in any market. That is in any market, you know, and as a vendor, you naturally assume, aha, yes, I watch the news and I know all about these clearance rates. No, guys, your price. The market doesn't see value where you are looking to release your property. That's
Yeah.
the truth. That's the truth. And, you know, we've got a couple of those at the moment. And again, as a vendor, you have all the choices. Hold your property, wait for the market to move, go rent your property out, or you've got to meet the market where it's at. But, you know, I'm sorry to report to those people that are saying, oh, it's so bad, it's going to get worse, it's Armageddon. No, that is definitely not what we are seeing. The market has softened. The market has not crashed. And I think that is the big, big message out of this.
Yeah, agreed. Hope that helps. Signing off. Any questions?
Hopefully that helps. Billy's got man flu, guys, just for anyone that wants to feed him a bit of sympathy.
Not
Poor
really,
Billy.
but coming over, but yeah, once a year. Yeah.
Oh, rest up. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have an awesome day. Billy, thanks as always.
Thank you, Alicia. Bye.
See you guys.